Hello, welcome to Brevard County Library's series on cosplay stuff. So I don't know if you know, but we had a cool thing for a couple of years called Library Con, and we did it in 2018 and 2019 and 2020, not so much. So we're hoping for Library Con 2021, but in the meantime, we thought maybe we would entertain you with some cosplay videos. I am by no means an expert, very amateurish, but I'm going to show you a very easy cosplay project involving phone, and this is making a Princess Peach crown. Full disclosure, I'm probably making this for myself. So here are our materials for the Princess Peach crown. We're just using regular old craft foam. We're always going to need rulers and scissors and pencils. We've got a pattern for it. I actually made this one myself because I kind of didn't like the ones online, but patterning is a whole nother video. We're going to use a headband to attach it to our heads when we are done with it. We are going to use a lot of hot glue. Hot glue can be used to seal the crown itself, to wrap it around, and also we're going to use it for our extra credit project, which is making jewels out of hot glue. We are also using, no, that's pretty much it. It's just a whole lot of foam, pretty much. It's really simple. A kid can do it, except for the hot glue gun part, because it'll burn. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pattern here and we're going to cut it out of a long piece of foam. So if you notice on the pattern, I've got this little line down here. I'll just talk about that really quick, because what I decided basically was that I wanted the crown to kind of pooch out a little bit instead of just sticking straight up. So it's going to kind of go like that, except without the sound effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this side, down here, line it up, and trace it out. I like this kind of gel ink pen for it, but really you can just use whatever you want. Here's a little bit of extra credit for your peach crown. See, I kind of have the jewels and where they're going to be placed drawn out, but this little line down here is going to be our little, we're going to cut down a little bit on the bottom and have it be the thing that goes in the middle. This is where our ruler is going to come in handy, because we want it to be as straight of a line as possible. Normally I would use a circle cutter, but I do not know where that sucker is, so we're just using regular old scissors. And let's hope that I can cut as straight of a line as possible. Craft foam is pretty forgiving. You don't need anything special or fancy to cut with it, but if this were like thicker foam, we would need some interesting tools, which I will get involved in on a later episode. All right, so now we've got our crown, and we're gonna have this line running through the middle where our jewels are gonna be. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna glue this sucker down. Let's flip it over though, because we want the edge that has a little less pen marking on it. So now we've got handy dandy hot glue. Let's get this over here and try not to burn myself or the table. Now this violates my cardinal rule of cosplaying in Florida that you will not use hot glue, but it's for a simple little crown, so it shouldn't be too bad. Now if you were doing something where you needed to cosplay something and like wear it all day or wear it at a sweaty convention or something, you would not want to do hot glue, because in Florida hot glue melts and takes everything with it. There we go. So this is our basic part of this. This is the main crown piece. Now remember how I had that little line over there? I'm gonna flip this over, and it doesn't really matter which side, just as long as one of these sides has a little line. We're just gonna kind of remember where that is, because we're gonna glue that down or cut it off. And next we're gonna add jewels to our crown. We can do this one of two ways. We can do this the easy craft foam way, not dealing with anything else, and that just involves you cutting out an oval and then cutting out another oval and then gluing them together and putting them on your crown like so. You have this oval, and these are not perfect. You know, you can get patterns out there that are perfect ovals and that sort of thing, and if you want to go for that, go for that. Oh, remember, peach is alternating. All right. So you would just kind of put them on like this and didn't just glue them all down. Voila, But you can also do a little fun time with your hot glue. All you need is hot glue and aluminum foil and some markers. I've already started a couple here. So these are kind of jewels that you can make with hot glue and aluminum foil. I've used a couple different kinds of Sharpies. Sharpies kind of work best for these. So what you do is you're gonna put your color on the aluminum foil. And then you start to spread out your glue, and it's going to make not the best or most perfect shape jewel ever, and you can kind of mess around with this. And then you're going to be reloading your glue gun because that happens all the time. Welcome to cosplaying, reloading your glue gun. So let's see, that's not quite big enough. I'm gonna put a little more on there. Try to get it a little more oval, get a little bit bigger. This is a kind of a cheapy way to do this without buying resin and worrying about resin casting, which is kind of a pain. So what we'll do is, since we've got these dry already, and then here's how you make them into jewels. These have been dry for a little while, not super, super long, but long enough. So the closer you can trim it, the better. These are also not super awesome scissors for this, but hey, we'll work with what we've got. And you have a nice little jewel, and instead of this, you could put it in here, and then it kind of looks sparkly and like a jewel, and put it in your crown. You can do either way you want to do this. So that's just sort of an extra little technique that you can do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and glue our little foam pieces on here. We'll save those other jewels for something else. So I'll try to get this as straight as we can in the middle, and then get our finger stuck to it. There we go. Your finger will always get stuck to something. This is cosplay for when the only thing that's in your house is craft foam. Or if you're doing this for children. The craft foam is great for crafts with kids because it's light, it's cheap, and it's really hard to break. All right, so now we're gonna glue this onto here. It's gonna be a little bit big and it's gonna stick out a little bit. So one thing you can do to kind of minimize that is you can cut out a little bit of foam around the side. Pull this thing out that I just glued and stick this in like that. Probably should have done that earlier. And also, you can keep using your ruler if you want to make sure that everything is very straight. I'm a little more doing this in an eyeball capacity. Okay, now we have all of our jewels on, and we're gonna flip this over, remembering where that little thing is. Oops, so I'm already seeing a problem here. Look at that. This is why I don't use hot glue for a lot of stuff. So these little things popped up. Let's try to get them back on. Ideally, the glue that you really want to use with this is contact cement. That will not melt in the Florida sun. Okay, and then after we solve our little glue drama, you might still have to put more glue on this later on. We are going to now put it together and then put it on our lovely headband. So let's see, for this I'm gonna put a bunch of glue on this and then reload the glue stick because glue sticks. So reload that. Got it kind of sticking out like this. And this is gonna take a little bit of time. All right, that seems to have set a little bit. good, good. All right, let's have a little bit more in there. A little bit more in there. You can never have too much glue until it starts to melt until it starts to melt. All right, well, so in the meantime, I'm gonna figure out how we wanna wear this, and then that's gonna determine where we do this. I think I want blue up front. Sure, why not? Blue, blue, blue. Let's have a blue up front. Ooh, actually, I kind of want it maybe in the middle like this. We'll do like that. Okay, and then for this, we're gonna be very, very, very low tech in, just gonna put it on the crown like so. Mark off approximately where that's hitting it. Like so, mark off approximately where it's hitting it. And then I'm just gonna make a little tiny cut, but you don't want it really close to the bottom like that or it'll just pop out. So we'll just make like a little tiny cut above it, like there. Ideally, we would want to use a X-Acto knife for this. So now we're gonna pop it through here. That's okay that it's tight and it's not very big. Because now the teeth are coming. Right, let's start our way through the other side. Again, this is just sort of the cheesy way to do it. Nobody else has to do it this way. Can all make it look a little bit better, but I'm just doing this quickly. And then just kind of figure out where you want it to go. Maybe like that. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is our final product. It's not professional. You're not gonna win any contests with this, but it's a pretty quick thing to do, and all you need is craft foam and a whole lot of glue and a headband, pretty much. And, you know, pencil, pen, scissors. So here's your cheapy Princess Peach crown.